For decades now, video games have been centred around conflict, pitting the player against scores of computer-controlled baddies. For the most part, however, we rarely come across sections where the player is fighting such overwhelming odds that we know in our hearts that they are doomed to fail no matter what. These moments really take hold of the player. Because gaming is such an interactive form of entertainment, we form incredibly worthwhile relationships with characters over huge amounts of time. All until that point when it all goes wrong. Unlike specific shots, choices, and scenes used in film, if a video game character falls, that gut punch is lethal. Even better is going out guns blazing in a heroic sacrifice, leaving a memory that we'll all talk about for the rest of time. My name is Rach, and these are the 10 greatest last stands in video game history. Number 10. Chernobyl, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare. A true turning point for the gaming industry, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare forever changed how shooters would look, work, and feel going forward. This game took itself deadly seriously, and it also expects the same from its audience. So when Macmillan and Price visited Chernobyl, it was no laughing matter. The two are on the run, moving from building to building and laying traps along the way. However, the dynamic totally changes once a helicopter crashes and injures Macmillan. After carrying him to a vantage point, it is up to the player to lay claymores and take out most of the oncoming forces. At this point, the ghillie suits that they are wearing might as well have just been for show, with the number of bullets hailing down upon them. But with a steady aim and decent enough placement of the mines, the pair just make it out. Number 9. Cabin in the Woods, Resident Evil 4. One of the few times The Last Stand goes well for any of the protagonists on this list, around a third of the way through Resident Evil 4, Leon S. Kennedy, Ashley, and Lewis find themselves holding up in a cabin against the Ganados. Leon and his companions are confined to a log cabin as crowds begin to mass at the only conceivable exits. Once the cutscene ends, you have only seconds to barricade the doors, lower windows, and take stock of your ammo before the building is swarmed. Unlike zombies of Resident Evil Old, Ganados are organised and have some sense of self-preservation as they attack different entry points until one strikes lucky. Trying to hold both floors is impossible, but knowing just the right time to fall back to the upstairs is key here. Within minutes, the ground floor will be full of Ganados, with even more crashing through the window with ladders. Helm's Deep eat your heart out. And the Ganados almost did too. Number 8. Rage Against the Machines, Horizon Zero Dawn. Guerrilla Games, aka that Killzone studio, had their work cut out for them when Horizon Zero Dawn was announced because nobody knew what to expect. They had created a vibrant new world which couldn't be further away from Killzone. Environments were colourful and Aloy was an incredible lead protagonist. No guns to be seen, just superb bow and arrow combat. This all comes to a head in the latter third of Horizon Zero Dawn, in where Aloy must hold back wave upon wave of corrupted machines as they storm the City of Light along with the Spire. Once set up, machines begin to pour out of the tree line with only moments to breathe between the action. There are a few guards around, but this fight is truly up to the player and Aloy. When this battle is finally over and the looming shadow has been beaten back, this will hold up as one of the most memorable sections in the entire game. Number 7. The Battle of Kaer Morhen, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Almost as if it was taken from the pages of The Lord of the Rings, this monumental battle in The Witcher 3 sees everyone come together to battle against the Wild Hunt on all fronts. Everything is crucial during the Battle of Kaer Morhen, and no time is wasted, from Geralt only just managing to seal the gate shut to Lambert's clutch save when all seemed lost. The player is constantly jumping between Geralt, Ciri, and Triss, with the threat of the Wild Hunt arriving at the character's supposed safe place. Though a great deal of the battle is dealt through cutscenes, each time the player is handed back control, it is to hold back seemingly overwhelming odds. The Wild Hunt have been built up the entire game, and for good reason. If Geralt wants to enjoy another bath after this, he and the crew will have to pull together and give it everything they've got. Number 6. Unexpected Guests, Red Dead Redemption. Just like Grand Theft Auto 2 years prior, Red Dead Redemption was a turning point for Rockstar. Players were to invest in playing a role in a deep story and not to just run around as a mindless killer. So it is all the more bittersweet then when John Marston keeps up his end of the bargain throughout the entirety of the game, only to end up being double-crossed by the law. He settles down with his family to finally enjoy the life that he'd always been working towards, but times they were a-changin' and the Wild West was being tamed. So as John steps out from the barn, the player is greeted with one last shot of the Deadeye system, and just for a moment it seems like you can win. Sadly, you can't, no matter how quick you are on that trigger. Number 5, Bills Passing, Left 4 Dead. Hitting at a time when zombies were at their hottest and, let's be honest, bloody everywhere, Left 4 Dead took a group of 4 survivors and pitted them against the overwhelming odds of the undead. As they slay zombies, the companionships of Bill, Zoe, Louis and Francis grow, and the original 4 decide to stick it out in the Sacrifice DLC. But when you're fighting against unlimited hordes of the undead, this is never going to end well. Just as it looks like the gang are about to escape to safety, a life-saving bridge breaks and the motor stalls. Selflessly, Bill runs out to start it back up. He does succeed, but 3 tanks and countless zombies were just too much for the old dog this time. He died as he lived, taking as many of the ugly buggers with him as he could. Number 4, Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade. At the very start of the game, we see Senua, who is going to hell to save the soul of her boyfriend, Dylan. Senua believes that it is her fault, her darkness that killed her village and Dylan, when in fact, the more the players see, the more they realise that in fact this isn't the case, and she is dealing with a mental illness. At the very end, Senua is faced with darkness for the final time as an unrelentingly endless wave of demons attack her from every angle. The fight can go on for as long as the player can last, but in the end, nothing can change her fate. No matter what you do, Hellblade will always finish with a goodbye. Number 3, The Doomed 6, Halo Reach. From the get-go, Reach was built to have this climactic event that would eventually lead to the end of all known Spartans, besides one, Master Chief. At the tail end of the game, Noble Six had successfully completed their mission, and despite Reach falling to the might of the Covenant, they had helped discover Halo. Helping the last ships escape, players get to relish in one last victory before the oncoming storm approached them. We are greeted with one last chord of the iconic Halo score as everything goes silent, except for the sound of the wind and the gunshots in the sandstorm. For many, this was a very personal journey. This scene is perfectly capped off as the player's Spartan pulls off his helmet, whilst all we can do is watch them fall. Number 2, Grey Fox vs Metal Gear Rex, Metal Gear Solid. Throughout the course of Metal Gear Solid, Snake not only has to navigate his way through Shadow Moses, save Metal and the world, but also defeat each unique member of Foxhound. From that first corridor scene, players knew that Grey Fox meant business, and this would become apparent in his boss fight. In perhaps Snake's most desperate time of need, Grey Fox shows up not only to save him, but also distracts Metal Gear Rex, piloted by Liquid. It is in these last moments that Grey Fox has the chance to console with Snake before he tackles Rex once more. For a moment, it seems as if the former Deep Throat could actually take down Liquid, but within the blink of an eye, he is dismembered and crushed by the hulking machine. Without Grey Fox, Snake surely would have suffered a similar fate. Number 1, Dom's Mad World, Gears of War 3. From the outside looking in, Gears of War is nothing more than a franchise about oversized meatheads shooting equally oversized lizard men from behind chest-high walls. But if given the chance, you will see that there is so much more to this world. In the search for fuel, players along with Dizzy, Sam and Jace discover that the Lambent has now crossed over to the humans, turning the surrounding population into mindless ghouls. Cornered by a desperate, dying force in the Locust and the encroaching Lambent that is on the verge of consuming everything, Dom makes a selfless sacrifice to help his team escape. As he grabs a truck and drives off, the series comes full circle as an instrumental rendition of Mad World creeps into ear, harkening back to the marketing of the first game in the series. After losing his wife, Dom had all but given up, but puts his sacrifice to good use, as without him, Marcus, Dizzy and the rest would never have made it out. This, especially at the time, was a tear-jerker even to the toughest of us. And that's our list. Thank you so much for watching. Any last stands we've missed, be sure to add them in the comments below. Once again, my name has been Rach. You can follow me on Twitter if you like at Don't Rage Quit. Remember to subscribe for more lists like this every single day. See you later, guys.